Finger picking. A lot of times you'll hear people refer to finger picking patterns, but what we need to do is we need to change the way we think about finger picking in general and don't think about it necessarily as patterns, but as something fluid that we can experiment with, kind of like liberating ourselves from the idea of a strum pattern. We want to liberate ourselves from the idea of a finger picking pattern, making your songs more interesting and dynamic. Apply this to covers, originals, anything you want. New ukulele every Wednesday and Saturday. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. If you love it, get printable tabs with this lesson and all our lessons by becoming a Patreon. And let's do it. Grab the ukulele, brain attention span, follow me on in, and let's break it down. 2 chords for today: A major, E7. So we're keeping the harmony simple. We're going to start with a foundational pattern of eighth notes. We're going to put that up. Over the A, we're going to go thumb on the G string, index finger on the E, thumb on the C string, index finger on the A. 1 and 2 and. We're going to play that 2 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to the E7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's our foundation. You're going to see this pattern a lot if you haven't already seen it a lot when you're learning how to play finger picking music on the ukulele. Okay, now one thing, when you're finger picking quickly, switching chords while plucking the 8th can be a little tricky. So note that this A is an open string. This is just a little tip, a sneaky little tip. Take advantage of that open A to get to your E7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm not fretting the A. My whole hand is up over that. And when I go to the A, I'll leave that fretted, but I'm already switching to the A to make sure that I can switch in time. That's just a little trick to make your chord changes a little easier when you're finger picking over some of these faster tempos. One area you want to start experimenting with is with timing. So now we're going to look at 16ths. And 16ths mean right now we're playing 2 notes in a quarter beat. 1 and. Quarter beats would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then 16ths, we're going to get twice as many notes in there again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. We're going to count it 1 E and a. Okay? Now we're going to play 4 notes over the 3rd beat. We're going to go 1 and 2 and. That's the same. Then over the 3rd beat, we're going to go through all 4 strings. We're going to count that 3 E and a. And then on the 4, we're going to use our thumb to pluck the G string. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. E7, same exact pattern. So the left hand changes just the chords. Right hand's going to do the exact same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. So now you have 16ths, and you can throw those in anywhere you want. So let's play through this very slowly now at this point. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. Now to continue your experimentation with the 16ths, start to experiment with not playing all 4 notes. So here we're going to play 3 of the 16ths and we're going to count it 1 E and. If we make the A, again it's going to be over the 3rd beat, the 1 E and is going to be thumb on the G string, index on the E, thumb on the C. 1 E and. Nothing over the ah, nothing over that remaining 16th note. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and slowly 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. So that's how you would continue experimenting with your 16ths, would be putting them in different places and experimenting with removing some notes, not playing all 4 of them. Now there is another unit of measurement called triplets, and triplets can come also in different divisions, 16th, 8ths, and quarter notes. We're going to look at here we're going to look at them in 8th notes, and that means we're going to play 3 notes in that quarter beat, but it's different because it's not like the 16ths where we're going to go 1 E and we're going to space them out, triplet. So we're fitting exactly 3 in that space, as opposed to 1 E and rest. It's triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So just make an A. We're going to roll through, thumb on the C string, index on the E, middle on the A. And we're going to go triplet, 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 triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Strawberry, 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 strawberry. So we're going to throw these triplets on the 3rd beat now. Because I play the triplets on the 3rd beat, I count them 3-pola. You'll hear people count triplets, triplet, triplet, 1-pola, 2-pola, 3-pola. Like that's how I do it, so I know where I'm at in the beat. You'll hear people say strawberry, like I did earlier, papaya. That's how they teach it to kids in Colombia. We're going to count it 3-pola, so we know we're on the 3rd beat. We're going to start off with our classic 8th notes, 1 and 2 and. Then the 3rd beat, starting on the C string, 3-pola. C, E, A. 3-pola. Then we're going to finish G string, E string on the 4th beat. 1 and 2 and 3-pola, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3-pola, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3-pola, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3-pola, 4 and. Now I was making some mistakes in there, which strings I was playing, but I stayed in time. And you see there that even though I'm playing different strings, it doesn't really matter, because the most important thing with these finger picking exercises is that you are in time, because each one of these notes is part of the chord. And because it's not a melody, you can play them in any order that you want. So if you accidentally hit the G string instead of the C string, don't worry about it. Just worry about trying to stay in time. Right. So this pattern here, we are going to add an F sharp and a B to our A chord. If we're still thinking about this as an A chord, we would call this a 6/9. B is the 9, F sharp is the 6. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through our 8th, we're going to make an A chord, foundation, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Over the 4th beat, we're going to play ring finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, pinky on the 2nd fret of the A, and pluck those 2 together. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 4th beat, 1st fret of the C string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to go to our E7, and here we're going to go 1 and 2 and. Pinky 3rd fret there. 1 and 2 and. Making an E7 sharp 5th. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then through a normal E7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Whole thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So some extended chords are a great way to add some life to these finger picking patterns. So learn your A's, F sharp minor 7 or F sharp minor. You could think about it as an A6, A6 over 9, A7 suspended 4. Learn all these different types of A chords. So here we're going to experiment with hammering on that 6th, but here the hammering technique is the superstar of this pattern. We're going to make the A, and we're going to finger pick the first 2 beats like normal. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now you're going to play open E string there. And when you play the 4th beat, 1st fret of the C string, you're going to hammer on the 2nd fret of the E string at the exact same time. So you're hearing those 2 notes together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You don't want the hammer on to happen first. Now that is a 16th, and there is a time and place for that. But it's not this particular pattern right here. Knowing how to do both is important. Learning to hammer on in time as you're playing these patterns creates beautiful, lovely sounds. When we go to the E, nothing fancy here, because we're just practicing this hammer-on technique. So now we're going to have fun with some chord tones up the fretboard. We're going to make our A chord, and we're going to start off 1 and like normal. But then we're going to slide up from 2 and 2 on the C string and the A string to 4 and 4. 4th fret of the C string, 4th fret of the A string. 1 and 2. This is a C sharp, and this is a E note. The A major chord has an A note, a C sharp note, and an E note. So of those 3 notes, we're just playing them in different places. In fact, it comes from this shape of this A, which is 4, 5, 4, which is an A chord. Then we're going to go back, 2, 0, pluck 1 and 0 together. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Over the E7, 1 and 2. This is a B note, and this is a G sharp. The E7 chord is made up of an E, G sharp, D, and B. E's the root, G sharp's the 3rd, B's the 5th, D's the flat 7. Because it's an E7, it has 1 extra note. It's a 4-note chord, as opposed to the A major, which is a 3-note chord, a triad. So over that E7, then we're going to go back to where we started, 1 and 2. So the E7 goes 1 and 2, 3 and 4. We put these together. All right, here we are going to play on this E and the A strings a little bit. We're going to make an A chord, but we're going to get our pinky on the 4th fret here. We're going to pluck 2, 4, open E together. The only string we're not playing is the C string there. Lift the pinky up, play the open E. And then we're going to go open E, open A, 2nd fret E, 2nd fret A, a callback to our 6/9 chord. Then the 2nd fret of the G string, our root. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to strum the E7. Then we're going to play the open A, 1st fret of the G string, open E. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's one of the stranger patterns, but it's cool. All right, so this one is flashy, and we're combining a couple of ideas that we've done, and we're pushing them a little further. We're going to make our A and start off 1 and, then we're going to play the open C and hammer on the 1st fret. But we're going to do that in time with the open high A string. 1 and 2 and. So you want that right at the same time you hit the open A. Then we're going back to our 4/4 spot that we've seen. From there though, and we're doing it on the offbeat. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and. Then from there to 2/2. Now here, these notes are not in our A chord. We have that B that we've seen as the 9, but this note here, this D note, definitely isn't. That makes a suspended sound. So these are passing tones on our way back to the C sharp and the E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boom. Now on the first beat of the E7, we start off with these 2/2 again, and these are chords of the notes of the E7. So they're passing on our A, but now they're right at home on our E. That's really cool. Start off, play those. Well, the first measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Next measure, we start off 2 and 2, 2. Index, open E, 1 and, then come down on the 2nd beat and play the open G. 1 and 2 and. Now when we hammer on there, we want to time that with the open E. We're doing something similar that we did with the G to our G sharp, our major third, against that E string. And if you can try to pluck when you do this move, pluck the E just a little softer than normal so it's easier to hear the hammer on. Then we're going to go from there to 2/2, but we're going to play the 3 and 4, grab 3 and 3 on our way to that familiar spot, which is also 2 chord tones we saw earlier, but we're hitting passing chords on the way. Yeah. So the second measure, very cool, a little slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Put both these bad boys together nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Love it. I'm loving it. So we only did this in one key, but that was just messing around in the key of C. So I encourage you to try these ideas in different keys. Just find some cool little hot spots that you can use, maneuver, find the ability to mix it up, free it up, learn different times, learn triplets, learn different time signatures, and most of all, just have fun experimenting. That's how you get better, okay? Until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Keep on loving the ukulele. Keep on jamming, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Life is good.